This video is sponsored by my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more.
On Friday,
Hi
Warhammer
guys,
40,000 and
and
Warhammer.
welcome to welcome to Get You Reviews and to this article reaction and review and just topic discussion. What I saw that was like a few days ago, but unfortunately now we have to talk about it. So, basically about Warhammer and Games Workshop and what they did, said, and then a bunch of other stuff that are mixed with this particular article. Okay, so let me bring this up and you can see the article itself. Just hold on a second, guys. For some reason my mouse decided to disappear. Okay, here it is, here it is. So, as you can see here, Warhammer developer Games Workshop to hate groups, we don't want your money. That sounds like it could be anything, really. So I have the article in a form of, well, not only the article, but also in a text-to-speech, because I really love text-to-speech. So I did had to replace some of the words for YouTube peace of mind's sake, because you know they don't like certain words. So yeah, that's it. But of course you can check the article is down below into the description of the video, and you can figure out what are these words if you cannot, you know, figure that out completely on your own, guys. So I don't know what is happening with my mouse, but let me try to go to the chat somehow. Okay, so I can see that in the same time as well. Hi to everybody in the chat, guys. Hi, hi, hi. How sound is good? Oh, good. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, guys. So I'm going to put the audio, and we're going to hear the article with the funny censorship of all those naughty words that YouTube doesn't like. But I have no idea still what is happening with my mouse and why I don't see it. So, why is this happening right now? I don't know. Okay. Now I see it. Okay, guys. So, let's hear the article.
On Friday, Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer. Age of Sigmar publisher Games Workshop posted on its official community page an unusual note titled "The Imperium is driven by hate. Warhammer is not." The post is a strong statement from one of the largest gaming companies in the world and reads, in part, "If you come to a Games Workshop event or store and behave to the contrary, including wearing the symbols of real-world hate groups, you will be asked to leave. We won't let you participate. We don't want your money. We don't want you in the Warhammer community." The statement comes after fans attending the Warhammer 40,000 tournament in Spain noticed a player wearing UGBUDATC iconography who entered under the name Austrian Painter. GT Talavera tournament organizers gave comment to tabletop wargaming site Spiky Bits, stating that the club repudiates the UGBUDATC mentality in all its aspects. UGBUDATC ideas have no place in our group because they are contrary to everything we stand for. The organizers said that the player said he would not leave unless they involved the police. As displaying UGBUDATC imagery is not illegal in Spain, the organizers hesitated lest this bring legal trouble upon their club. Warhammer 40,000 is a dystopian sci-fi setting on a massive scale, where billions die every day in the middle of a massive free-for-all between several terrifying factions, from the ravenous alien hive known as the Tyranids, to the stoic and immortal Elder. The Imperium of Man is the closet thing we have to a faction that looks like us. It is a monotheistic, actively Yugabigafferson, heavily armed race that is ruled by, as the blog post notes, the living corpse of a god emperor whose commandments are at best only half remembered. Twisted by time and the fallibility of humanity, it is unapologetically xenophobic, and its history is riddled with more than 10,000 years of repeated brutal Yugocide. It's a setting so bleak that it's often called grimdark. There are no good guys, and the heroes can only scrape out the barest wins again an uncaring, actively hostile universe. However, the imagery of the Imperium of Man has attracted a devoted following among real-world hate groups, becoming a staple of the modern meme economy of online hate. In 2019, that flashed over into the real world when a float in an Italian parade showcased former President Trump encased in the golden armor of the God Emperor. The artist, Fabrizio Galli, later explained that the float was a joke, commenting on the fact that he's trying to destroy nations with the economy instead of nuclear missiles. This is one of the strongest actions, let's say, that powerful people like Trump can use. These kinds of artistic interpretations make sense and can happen in good faith. After all, Warhammer 40k is a setting heavily based in satire and black comedy. Developer Games Workshop acknowledges this in the blog post, emphasis Games Workshops. The Imperium of Man stands as a cautionary tale of what could happen should the very worst of humanity's lust for power and extreme unyielding xenophobia set in. Like so many aspects of Warhammer 40,000, the Imperium of Man is satirical. For clarity, satire is the use of humor, irony, or exaggeration, displaying people's vices or a system's flaws for scorn, derision, and ridicule. Something doesn't have to be wacky or laugh out loud funny to be satire. The derision is in the setting's amplification of a tyrannical, eugacidal regime, turned up to 11. The Imperium is not an aspirational state outside of the in-universe perspectives of those who are slaves to its systems. It's a monstrous civilization, and its monstrousness is plain for all to see. That said, certain real-world hate groups and adherents of historical ideologies better left in the past sometimes seek to claim intellectual properties for their own enjoyment and to co-opt them for their own agendas. Despite this, far-right groups continue to use Warhammer 40k as part of their branding. A faction of fans have infamously co-opted the Imperium's iconography in their own movements. Games Workshop has taken action before. In 2020, a YouTuber removed the Warhammer from his title at Games Workshop's request after Eugasist rhetoric on his stream and leaked images of his Discord revealed more Eugasist comments. This is not the first time that Games Workshop has stepped out to make its own position on hate clear. It made a similar statement via Twitter in June 2020 that read Warhammer is for everyone.
Okay, so that was the text-to-speech audio file that is reading this part of the article. The rest is just, yeah, commenting on the other things that happened. So basically, this article is saying a lot of things and doesn't make much of a point. I mean, there's several topics here which we have to break down and make the actual points that have to be made. And as you can see, I did censor a lot of the words. So the text-to-speech guy had to read nonsense, but I have no choice. It is YouTube, so yeah. So I'm going to explain what is going on. Hi Alex, hi Aaron Duke. So basically, yeah, this was on the 22nd of November. And firstly, a guy attended an event in Spain, a tabletop event, and he wore a Yahtzee, let's call it, as you can see here, iconography. And yeah, he was basically asked to leave. And from that point of view, I mean, if the guy that wrote that article, guy or girl, want to say a lot of things about how strict GW is, we have to distinguish what is what here. Oh, Mark, thank you very much. I thank you. I'm so surprised. Thank you. The Imperium is a hate group. Also GW. Did they actually contradict themselves like that? Because also what they said here is also interesting, but I have to take things one by one, guys. So let me start from the beginning, because as I said, there's a lot of topics in that article, and the way that is written, if you don't pay attention, you will say that, okay, so GW is this or that, or no. I mean, it's kind of confusing the way it's written, so we're gonna break it down right now. Hey, Vasak, what's going on here? GW is showing again that she doesn't care about the fans and they only need money. Well, not exactly. She isn't it more like it. GW is it. Okay. So first, well, I don't know what is first. Well, yeah, a bit of a context I think is in order. There is a lot of, I mean, in every possible fictional story, faction, world, there's always going to be people that are going to use that within the frames of a meme or something else, because that is just how people are. So, Warhammer is not immune to the fact that people just like to, use it as a humor and all of those things. That is just how people are. That doesn't speak, however, for the nature of that particular fictional universe, because it could be absolutely anything and it could be used in a very crazy ways. And that will have little to do with the actual quality of the story or anything like that that is connected to that particular universe. Star Wars and so many other things are used for numerous amounts of memes and, yeah, other types of imagery. I cannot say that word today. Imagery. Okay. Okay. Um. So, I see that you're saying a lot of things, guys. Okay, let me look at your comments before I continue. Also, although I'm going to lose my train of thought, but I'm gonna look at them for a sec. Okay, that's a lot of random thoughts. Sweats nervously. Eater of chickens, gay. Hey, Philip K. Warhammer is for everyone, and that guy was clearly out of bounds and should have known better than to do that. And him getting kicked out also deserved. Of course, of course. I was going to get to that. Um, I mean, yeah, that is on itself another topic of how they reacted. They reacted correctly in that case for sure, and that has nothing to do with the rest of their ways, you can say, and what they do to creators and all of that. It's run by greed instead. Yeah. Well, thanks, Wrong Moonlight, and hi to you too. I'm the calmest? I didn't know that I'm the calmest. Well, I was criticized for not screaming that much, and I'm like, I don't scream. I only lost my temper one time when I played God of War. But yeah, that was just literally one time. I couldn't kill a not a banshee. What was that? Valkyrie? Not a Valkyrie. Sorry, I don't want to digress from the topic because we do have this article to break down. HGW subculture, just look at VTM. I don't know what that is. Have to check. Yeah, from one hand, when they kicked him out, they did solve that problem. That doesn't touch upon the rest of the problems, but I really am going to lose my train of thought, guys. So, okay. Okay, so let me continue, guys, and once again I'm going to get to your comment. So first, yeah, when you look at what happened here, definitely they should have kicked this guy out. Then I don't know why from this instance there has to be like other things that are branching from it, where this is like a isolated incident. Okay. So just remembering some stuff. Okay, so yeah, I did say that just now, but there's just a lot of things here. So the article is like, okay, so Warhammer is this and that, the Tyranids and Imperium of Man, everybody are bad, and okay, that's fine, but that doesn't like contribute to who is watching Warhammer, who is liking Warhammer. There's literally guys that are Yazis, I'm censoring this word for a reason, that are just going to like whatever, and they're just going to join that faction group fandom, and that is not to the fault of that fandom. Sorry, the mic. Warhammer is not to be faulted that it has all kinds of fans at all. Literally, Britney Spears could have Nazi fans for all we know. Oh, I did say that word. Damn it. I hope that YouTube's not gonna kill me now. Hope that my Bulgarian accent helped and they don't catch that word. Okay. So, that is the first thing. Second, I think Warhammer as a whole was, more not as touched by some SJW attacks so far. At least I don't know many instances of this, which, I mean, I'm sure that your guys are going to point me to some, but I mean, compared to other things in the world, is not that bad. I think one of the most, well, at least one of the topics that I covered was, should there be female space marines or not? That was basically it. If you hear something, it's just my puppy that's kind of impatient at the moment. Hold on, Goldie. Hold on, Goldie, please. So yeah, the female space marine thing was one of the like biggest like arguments you could say. Oh, sorry guys. It is just that I start late again, but I just couldn't start earlier, so yeah, it's almost midnight. And as for the far right groups, I just hate politics so much, and I just don't want them in my fictional universes. Like, the fictional universes have their own politics, for goodness sakes, and they're pretty enough for me. I don't need the real world crap to get intertwined with that. It is too much in the real world anyway. We do want to escape from real world when we have these fictional universes to enjoy. So why the heck I would want real life politics to get into my fictional universes, for goodness sakes. So, oh, about that, that Games Workshop has taken action before in 2020. I mean, a YouTuber that I think was Arch, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't seen that when it was happening, so I cannot really comment on that. But I guess a lot of people saw the Discord. I mean, I know the story and whatever comments that he made there, basically. And yeah, he had to remove Warhammer from his name. So, I mean, it's normal for Games Workshop to not want to be associated with anything that can promote ism and dot 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 faism. You know what I mean? So that is totally normal, and it's just a bummer. Like, imagine you have created the fictional universes of any kind, and then comes a few jerks that uses it for bad things, and then your brand and IP is associated with uh, a lot of bad stuff, and people that are not educated on it, they think that it is your brand that is promoting that, and that it is that IP that is making people think or do these things, which is not the case. Once again, people are just doing stupid things no matter what is what is in question. And here we have this Twitter post that was well, yeah, 1 year ago, and 1 year ago and a few months, that one of the greatest powers of our hobby is the ability to bring people together in common cause, to build bonds and friendships that cross divides. We believe in and support a community united by shared values of mutual kindness and respect. Well, that is all well and good in general. Our fantasy setting are grim dark, but that is not a reflection of who we are or how we feel in the real world, and how we feel the real world should be. Sorry, guys. We never accept nor condone any form of prejudice, hatred, or abuse in our company or in the Warhammer hobby. I really pray that YouTube's not gonna censor me for that. We will continue to diversify the cast of characters we portray through miniatures, art, and storytelling so everyone can find representation and heroes they can relate to. Well, there's a lot of things here to comment on, so first give me a second to comment on these things, and I'm gonna return to your comments as soon as I can, guys. I see that they're there. So, Okay, of course, never condone prejudice, hatred, all of these things. I mean, art has to be free to be art, and if they want to write whatever they want to write, that has not. I mean, that does not have to, um, like, how to say this, reflect our real freaking world, because it's a fantasy world. You know, they should be free to write whatever they want to write. Not only them. I mean, everyone that are creators in some kind of a way, writers, whatever. When you want to create a fictional world, you should be able to write whatever you want there. Like, for instance, if you're writing about elves, you should be free to write them all as being, like, let's say, with one sex, two, if you like, all white, all black, or whatever, you know, if you want that. I mean, it's freedom of freaking art. I mean, art is art. So there's that one thing that I always wanted to talk about anyway, is that in particular. Now, diversity, if it's like forced diversity, most of you know what I think about that. It's extremely on the nose and annoying if a ton of diversity is just put into something because we have to have it, because modern politics demands it. They demand it a lot, so that's why you have to have it. But it's a fictional universe. No, you don't have to have it if you don't want to have it. If it's like a story about albinos people, you know, you cannot make those other colors, and they're only one color. For instance, I mean, and when it comes to Warhammer, there's not really a depiction, or at least, I mean, I already had so many books. My puppy is here. I already gone through so many books now, and we very much well know that most people are like Caucasian, let's say, and for instance, the oh, God damn it, puppy, come here, come here. The people of the salamanders. I mean, the salamanders. Sorry, guys. Oh gosh, he cannot stand me anymore. Not pay him any attention. Hi, Goldie. Say hi to the audience. Okay, okay. So, yeah, the salamanders are like with the dark charcoal skin, but they're not depicted as dark charcoal skin, but from any race. I'm just saying. Not the hair. Goldie! You are not Warhammer friendly right now. He just wants to play. Okay. Okay, Goldie. Okay. so, so yeah, I just want to rant about that for a second. Everything else in Warhammer is not discriminatory to everyone. I mean, everyone die. Women, children, Xenos. It doesn't matter, you know. Anyone freaking dies there. So no discriminatory to everyone. Everything is equal in that regard. And now the fact that the Primarchs are all guys, or the Space Marines are all guys. Well, that is explained with the gene seed and all of that. I don't care personally. It makes sense to me in the way that it's explained. They can always make like a female Space Marines in some other way, but they're not going to be Space Marines. They're going to be something else. And we do have the Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Battle, and I'm freaking okay. I don't have any complaints about Warhammer, honestly. Okay. So then it says, and if you feel the same way, whatever and whoever you are, and if you feel the same way, wherever and whoever you are, we are glad you are part of the Warhammer community. If not, you will not be missed. Okay, so it's for everyone, but it's not for everyone. Basically saying, I mean, I get what they're saying, but that is how it comes out. It's like it's not for everyone after all. Okay, now let me go back to the comments, and Goldie got a bit more calm. Goldie boy. Okay. He just wants to sleep and wants me to go to bed, but a bit more, Goldie, a bit more. So, let me see what you're saying, guys. Oh yeah, I have to go back a bit. Okay, hold on. Okay, I caught up from where I left off. Yeah, dear Ivy, the guy was piece of yes. Okay. He was not kicked out? He came mate? Where did you find that information? I didn't see that. making quality products instead of inserting their cringe politics into it. Uh, well, the thing is, with what they did to creators and all the animators decided to stop doing animation because fear of being, sued and all of that. Some guys still are doing animation though, and they seem to be fine. But TTS, uh, Amphibuza, he decided to not do anything. I already talked about that. I don't think that he would have any problems because he is, doing parody. But he decided just to be safe. That's another topic. Like I said, I already talked about that. Vampire the Masquerade. Well, I'm not familiar with that. Someone refused to pay him and he was given the win. Jesus, really? Come on, go there. Oh, okay. Did someone come to the game workshop meeting in a Yahtzee symbols, or did he just cosplay the dead corpse of Creek? No, he definitely went with those symbols, as I understand from the article, because they know who the dead corpse of Creek are. I doubt that they're going to ban their own stuff, their own soldiers that they thought of, so to speak. GW's exploited cooperation with questionable politics and Yahtzees can go to hell at the same time. Yes, well, GW, well, they are doing a lot of things not in the correct way, but the Yahtzees thing is like a rule, you have to be on point with that. I hope that, the fact that they are jerks in some aspects doesn't mean that they are jerks in absolutely everything. So yeah, they had to do something there for sure. Sisters of Silence need more love. Well, yeah, I would say that. Don't purge. Well, that's kind of like, a different topic because uh, there's no mutants in the real world, but mutants in 40k, that's one of the things that I'm not that familiar with. Why are they so frowned upon? I just haven't got to there yet. But yeah, mutants in the Marvel universe is pretty clear that they should not be prosecuted unless they do something wrong, of course, like every other human. So having powers doesn't mean that you have to be immediately in jail or something like that. But that is about the Marvel universe. About here, I'm not really sure. I had a thought about something about here, but I forgot what it was. Damn it. Oh, yes, about the xenophobia. Well, that is also that they're free, something that they're free to create, because in that world, it's 40k, as it was here pointed out, it is a, very tough world, grim, dark, and it's a cautionary tale of how humanity could become, although once again it's too fictional for to become exactly like that, but the principles that were crossed, that is what actually was meant here, that is what actually matters. So yeah, by principle I understand what the article means. Okay, trying to keep reading your comments. GW does not run into something that they condemn. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Fully support them destroying Warhammer with intersocialism and the bread and circus. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, yes, at least Goldie is always getting a salute, yes. It's the fluffy boy. Lehman Ross has returned. Where? I do not dispute that there is a difference, but the behavior strongly resembles something bad. But not in today's case. Real politics has no place in science fiction and fantasy. Yes, they do not. They do not. Absolutely, they do not. Yeah, optic diversity nonsense and almost let the dumbbell go. We need quality projects and not silly solutions. Well, the diversity thing is something that it's a whole topic. It's such a long topic, and yeah, I'm not sure actually if I ever want to really develop that topic because I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Honestly, you cannot just free talk about things because you're going to be labeled a lot of stuff. Yeah, so I'm still arguing with myself whether or not I really like if I really want to say anything about that because it's not going to be understood properly and is going to be taken the wrong way and all of that. So yeah, I better not step into there fully. I mean, most of you just know how I think in general because I did mention it here and there. A lot of topics today are like around that anyway, so I do mention how I feel about that. Yeah, most people leave GW due to their practices and prices. You mean the people that work there and the people that buy their thing? Yeah, it's too expensive to go with the with the whole tabletop thing. It's just impossible for me. Hey Alex, thank you. Middle ground, irrationality. Creators need to keep them in proportions. Yep. Um, Discourse Miniatures did a video breakdown. Okay. Not sure I'm familiar with his channel. Yeah, the female Space Marines is a whole nother thing. But like I said, already covered the major kill video that was like a year ago. What the heck? I think my puppy just did something, but I didn't see what. So let me see. I think he just lost patience. I don't see what he did, but he seems perfectly fine. Never been flexible with anything. Staff. Yeah, you're right. I think so. I mean, from what I know, before I got into Warhammer and I caught up with all the information that I could, yeah, pretty much so. Yeah, it is delicate subject. I mean, I did a video about Watchmen when that was out, like 2 years ago now. Jesus. I mean, since the pandemic started, time just flies like this. I didn't know what happened since that. I mean, since that time came, unfortunately, I literally don't know how time decided to fly, but it's super fast. So yeah, Watchmen, before that, the TV show, there was a lot of stuff that were extremely acist, you know what I mean, towards, well, white. A lot, and like on the nose and like a hammer on your head and just anything that is Watchmen. I mean, there's nothing about the Watchmen there. The original comic book dealt with other issues for its time, but it was never like that in that kind of a manner. So it was extremely ridiculous how they used the Watchmen name to like push some things. So it wasn't just one episode; it was all the episodes, and Ray's bending on the characters was like across the whole thing, and so many other stuff like real life events that never happen in Watchmen, but I mean they're real life events. They use them to propaganda stuff, and yeah. So when I did that analysis of the show, I was basically attacked from all sides by people that don't think that that is, that there's no such thing as acism against white people, but there freaking is. Anyway, anyway, so yeah, I don't want to get into that, but that was like the most profound example of me dealing with these things, and the reaction was amazing. and very bad. And there's some people that really decide to quote history on me, which was ridiculous because they were all totally, completely wrong. And they don't bother to check Google or something, even not even a bit. So that was interesting. I mean, literally quoting me history that never happened. Okay. Uh, okay, reading. Just wanted to see quality movies and games for us casting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely optic. And the other thing is, like, by that logic about including absolutely everyone in everything, then where are the albinos? How I said, where are the Eskimos? Where is the Eastern European girl with blue eyes, like me? You know, if I really wanted that, I don't. I don't care about these things because it's ridiculous. But if we all want representation, then where are all those groups of people that are minorities? You know, the Eskimos, the albinos, and so many others, like the Bulgarian gypsies, for instance. Like, where are they? They're going to be mad at some point, you know. Actually, they're not because they also don't care. I mean, art should be art, and if the art doesn't go for including absolutely everything under the sun, then it doesn't call for that. Like, how about me creating a fictional story about purple aliens and all the humans then are gonna be angry? That's not about them. Like, what the heck? I'm allowed to create a fictional story about freaking purple aliens if I so wanted to, you know? That's just an example. Or in Lord of the Rings, some guy said that the guy that created Lord of the Rings was atheist, and that's absolutely ridiculous and stupid. He doesn't I mean, he doesn't know the first thing about Lord of the Rings, and he doesn't know the author, and he never read about him and how he thinks and all of those things, but he's just saying, oh, he's a nicest, this guy. Like, what? And now in the new Amazon show, they have to include people, other ace races. So it's all awesome for everyone, and that is forced. That is forced diversity, and that is what I don't like. Like, just include other races, doesn't matter. Or how about in historical movies, like Mary Queen of Scott, or how was this movie called, where she has Asian and black people in her court. I mean, from both sides, I think, of Queen Mary and Queen Victoria. They were not there. Sorry, they were not there historically. So what are you doing, people that are trying to make historical movies? Now a new season in Vikings. New season in Vikings. Also, there's I think a black Viking leader. I'm not sure if she's a leader, but she's not white and she's there. Like, that never happened. Scandinavian people, blonde, blue eyes. Hello, Vikings, what are you doing? You know? So that is forced, and it's just ridiculous, basically. Just don't do it. It's not correct. It's just not. Diversity for the sake of diversity just doesn't make any freaking sense. And that's it. I mean, they can do it. There's a lot of examples of the same thing in Xena, you know. But back then, when I was little, I didn't care because all the actors were great. It still doesn't make sense, but all the actors were great, so I still don't care about that. And nobody was forcing anything. They just picked those actors then, and they were like, "Okay, this is fiction, so we can do it." Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But there was all kinds of diversity back then, even, and nobody was like, "Oh, there's so many diversity. I mean, so much diversity here. Bravo to Xena." Like, everybody were just okay with that. Nobody was making big deal out of it. It was just there, and that's not the only show. But like, Xena is one of the first shows that just did a lot of stuff that no other show did in many ways. That's another topic on its own. But yeah, and it was all well and good because it's like a natural thing. It was, I mean, not forced in any way, just fit everything, and yeah, I mean, fit everything. If you don't think all the time that in ancient Greece there were no, black people and all of that, then there was the time where Xena went to China and to Japan, and that is normal for there to be Japanese people and Chinese people. Like, imagine if she went there was like white people, and I'm going to be like, what? I mean, in the same time, if you go to Greece or Scandinavia, Norway, you do not expect to see other colors of people. You just expect to see mostly blue-eyed people. I mean, okay, they're not all blue eyes, but you know what I mean, just white people in general. That's just some examples, guys, about diversity and what makes sense, what doesn't. Totally digressed. Let me look at your comments, because, like I've said, I probably will not make a particular video about that. So everyone that with their pitchforks, they want to target me and tell me that I don't understand anything. Um, Although my freaking nation was under slavery for 500 years, but because we are white, who cares? I mean, no one knows about that, because who knows the history of the other parts of the world? A lot of people don't. Who's attacking the Empress? Who want historian punches in the face? Well, if you visit those videos, you will say. That Lord of the Rings comment was, I'm not sure actually on which video. No, I forgot. If my primars can think about that, you can let me know. But that was like very weirded out, like what? Comment about Lord of the Rings out of nowhere? Is it? It was not even the video about Lord of the Rings that I did. I did the review of all the parts and then the Hobbits too, and compare them. Yeah, but it was not even under that video, I don't think. Yeah, British, I think they are, to a point, yes. Yeah. They're just rewriting history. Yes. Yes, they do lie directly. Work of art and personal vision. Who, me? Well, I am a gamer. I wouldn't say I'm a pro gamer. If you mean pro, the guys that go on contest and have professional set tournaments, yeah, I'm not a pro. If you mean I was playing games my whole life on a PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, yes, that is me. Ridiculous and then some, and irresponsible to alter history in such idiotic ways. Absolutely, absolutely optic. Achilles and Borlin, now black in British TV. Really? Who is Borlin? Or I'm not reading that right. And Xena, as you know, is a fantasy setting, so you can fit everyone as long as they are good actors. And they were! Yes, Xena's top notch, and yes, she is. I mean, the whole show as well. Long time for the chocolate dryads of Slavic mythology. Dryads? Chocolate dryads. Do you mean druids? I'm not sure. I never heard of that, which is interesting. Wow, thank you, dear Glidon. Oh, the Dune review was it? Yes, the Dune review. So even it's more weird that some guy is going to come to my Dune review because Dune was under controversy. Oh yeah, that was actually the latest stupid shit, excuse my French, that happened. That Dune was somehow acist because there was not enough diversity. Like, how? What? There's like far too much, even. Because once again, I think some of the people there are described as with like different colors of skin, but just the colors. I mean, it's not described the other racial. How's the word for that? Yeah, the other differences are not described when it comes to a particular race. He just wrote like other people are like with darker skin or whatever. But that's not the point. It was a white savior story. It was never a white savior story at all. Because the Mr. Savior, so to speak, Poe, he's not a savior at all. If you know the whole story of Dune, is kind of like the opposite, and the message is the opposite, like beware of charismatic leader. Just don't trust them blindly, have your own mind, don't listen to the crowd, just be your own person, and judge everything critically, objectively, and just that I mean, don't follow as a sheep, that's basically the message of Dune. So whoever wrote that doesn't know the first thing about Dune. And what do they want to just switch Poe? I mean, to bend the role. That's gonna be against the role, against the character. Why do that? It's just disrespectful to the character if you just change and race bend everyone for just no reason at all, but forced, forced diversity. Just ridiculous. So first he's not a savior, and then it is not a white freaking savior story. Just ridiculous. So all of that is a bunch of twisting of the truth, misleading, fake news. I mean, making something that is not a problem, and then presenting it as news. So it's like fake news almost. It is. It is so hilarious that it's just sad, and it's becoming dangerous, basically. Oh, and He-Man, you're right. Yes, I haven't watched that. I heard that it was horribly terrible, and I heard that they basically killed him. Sorry, the mic. Killed him, and he was not even the main character of the Netflix show. And there's some women that look like men, and like what? And that's the other topic, that you can. I mean, women are not allowed to be sexy anymore, which is ridiculous. It's like, oh, feminism, women, and like women rights and women. And I'm like, okay, why would you then want to hide someone's sex appeal? Why would you then do not celebrate women's femininity and beauty and what makes them different than men? I mean, women and men are different for a reason. They complete each other in a lot of ways. So there is amazing qualities in and out of both sexes, and they have to be appreciated the way that they are. So to take a woman and make her as much as a man as possible, to dress the characters in the movies like they dress, MJ in Spider-Man, Zendaya with those huge coats that are from the 90s. I mean, yesterday I watched a few episodes of The Nanny, and although Fran Drescher as the nanny, she dresses amazingly, super sexy to complement her figure, which she should do, and she did. But then you see the bigger girl from the kids, and she was in this exact coat as they wear now, so the same fashion has returned, with like huge shoulders, just very like, well, for a man, like a coat for a man. And that is how girls are not dressing themselves, like as guys. And in the latest Spider-Man trailer, I said, well, look at Zendaya's character, I mean, MJ. She is dressed basically in a guy's clothes, wearing that huge coat, no boobs. I mean, she looks flat as a board, and that is the trend now. Flat as a board is the trend for some reason. Going to Instagram the other day, just scrolling real quick, watching Gal Gadot having the, you know, some kind of a photo shoot with the same style, like huge coat, flat as a board, big pants, big man pants, all those things. Then watching Hawkeye the other day, and seeing Kate Bishop wearing a male suit to an event. So basically, black male suit, black jacket with the shirt, with the tie, with the man's pants, with the man's shoes. And I'm like, okay, I'm personally, I mean, I have a lot of jackets that you see here that are like official, like business jackets, but they are all like, on me. They're, complementing my figure. It's made to, line the back like in a triangle shape, which my is triangular anyway because I work out. So those jackets just complement what I already made. I mean, the build of the body, all of those things. And when I used to work on that kind of a office manager work, I wore those clothes, but I was like in jeans that are like tight and all of that, not super tight but enough. So I complimented my freaking figure all the time, because like what's the point of trying to keep in perfect shape all the time and I'm not wearing the clothes that I always wanted to wear and to fit me well, But in the movies, like Kate Bishop with that huge, I mean, not huge, but male costume, like, okay, if you're gonna wear a jacket, just wear the female version. Why are you wearing the male version of the jacket with male shoes? What the heck? It's ridiculous. Everyone are looking like classical lesbians, basically, for no reason at all, rather than to, like, I don't know, make her look more male like, because what? Equality? Is that equality? So, yeah, ridiculous. And you have lots of other examples in the comic books. The horrible comic books of today, just drawing characters to look like, female characters to look a lot more guys. Like, guys, what the heck? That is absolute disrespect to anything female, and it's not feminism, and it's just bullcrap, basically. Disrespectful bullcrap, that is what it is. Sorry that I ran on and on about that. And then she wore also a coat that was exactly the same style. Huge, and for a guy. Yeah. It's like a female figure is flat as a board from all sides, so let's complement it in like this with a huge flat coat. Yes. So yeah, really a lot of topics are intertwined in all of that we deal with today. Henry VIII, wife, the first he beheaded. Oh, what did I miss? Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's gonna be kind of woke, or at least from the parts of the casting. I don't know, Ivy, what is Henry VIII here has to do with. I don't get that. You have to explain to me later, or here if you wish. Okay, so yeah, and the He-Man, not the He-Man, the Witcher. Oh my gosh, yes. I really have to catch up with your comments, guys. Sorry. Druid Archer's chocolate. Oh, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. Ah, yes, yes. Oh, horrible. In Slavic and Eastern European mythology. And there was no chocolate there. You're right. I got it now. I got it. Yes, The Witcher. When I first saw The Witcher, I was like, what is this black person doing there? This is Slavic stuff. This is. Once again, I don't mind in general, but it's based on something real. So to see black people among these lands just doesn't make any sense. I don't mind it, but it just doesn't make any sense. That is it, and they still force that. So once again, we have the principle of forcing something that should not be there, just because lands and times, that is how it was. But okay, let's say because this continent doesn't exist, and we can put that. But once again, they do want to force it anyway. It wasn't there. They're putting it there on purpose so they can have diversity. That is by definition an action forced. So there's that. Okay. Otherwise, I don't mind it. The actors are great. Even freaking Yennefer is race band. Okay, even freaking Yennefer, which I couldn't believe when I saw. That actress is absolutely amazing. She deserves an Oscar. She is just marvelous in this role. She gave so much emotion to that role. Absolutely. But that's just not Yennefer, how she is in the books. Hey Blade, how'd you do? Yeah, I know. Nobody can criticize, but we can. We can. We just have to take the lashes of that after that. Yeah, women in manga, yeah. Feminine. I'm not like very informed on everyday manga, but they can be super, super sexualized, but still kick ass. I mean, they do go overboard a bit there, but they're still badass. Yes, and Fran is sexy. Should be. Oh, I'm not sure if I can say that about the sorry, morbidly obese. Well, in the new DC show about, not Taskmaster, Jesus, the John Cena show, Peacemaker. James Gunn literally wrote a character that is a chocolate obese woman, and she wasn't supposed to be there because she's not from the comic books, but he wrote that so he can have her there for some reason. I'm just saying that's a Hollywood example of she could be amazing. I'm not saying anything about that. She could be like the best character ever, like better than Peacemaker. On spot perfect for the context of the show. I'm just saying he did that on purpose. That's what I'm saying. Tried doing it. Great. Well, Matt Damon and Keanu is a samurai movie to sell the Westerners, but the HAWs were outraged. Whites were in it. Would they complain other way around? I did saw that. I mean, both movies. I think there was an explanation why Matt Damon was there as a white guy, and Keanu. I mean, they were like, coming from the side, so to speak. I'm not sure about that because I don't remember the context of both movies, but yeah, I could be here all night if I start talking about that as well. Can work where it would make sense. Where it doesn't, then it takes away from work, world building, atmosphere, etc. Yes, I read that too. Well, thanks, Optic. It can still work if you write a good enough movie show, even in a strange context, but often more than not, writing, acting is still all over the place, so it's lame. I mean, if you're focusing on the fact that a lot of characters just stick out like that and it's just distracting. I can tell you right away about Wheel of Time because then, there is absolutely. I'm like, what am I watching? I mean, the show is great, absolutely is great, but there's so much diversity in that show that it was kind of strange even because we never seen that before. I mean, there's a bar and the camera pans to show how the people in the bar react to certain things, and you see like a lot of Asian people, all kinds of races there, and even people that are like gypsies, like the bartender, for instance, she looks like a gypsy, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. How are that many races in one place? I mean, it's okay, it's a fantasy world. I'm just saying, like, I've never seen that ever. So many in one place. So that kind of a thing really sticks out, and a lot of the characters are different, like totally different races. The white people are, I don't know how many actually, but there's a lot of from everyone. There's a lot from everyone. There's like super cool Asian guy with a sword. He's amazing. I was like, this guy is coming out of Mortal Kombat or something. I'm just saying that from all the shows that I ever watched, this is like beats absolutely everything in terms of diversity, everyone and everything. The only thing that's missing is really an albino and Eskimos. Although some of these Asian guys, I don't know, they kind of look like that. But it's a good show. It's a really good show. I don't know how it is in the book. It's probably not like that in the book. But there you have it. At least it's not historical movie. It doesn't take me out of it, but well, it kind of did just because I never seen that. Not because I'm against it, but I never seen that, so it was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, that's a lot. They're not in the Chinese or Asian part of the map. They're just like a few hundred, not few hundred, but like let's say 50 kilometers from where they live, and in their main character's village, there was also a bunch of different people there, a bunch. So I guess it doesn't matter. The whole world is just a lot mixed. But it's kind of like post-apocalyptic too. So from that side of things, if the world really mixed, maybe that makes sense from that. But I haven't read the book, so I can't tell you. I can't tell. I'm just commenting on the pure fact what is like in the show, nothing else. If you know more than me, you can always let me know. I say you didn't enjoy the inner um well um I don't know what to say to that. If you put it that way, I can't really say anything about that really. And I don't know how much I can even say anything anymore. To this point, I said a lot of words that I shouldn't have. I don't know how YouTube's gonna feel about this stream. I just wish the writing was good, yeah. I legit don't care about people's politics, I just wish the writing was good and the writers weren't so weird. Yeah, you can also say that. Oh, from what I hear, it's 10 more hours of talk than Wheel of Time. That is. I don't think I'll continue. The book stopped in the 90s and I have to read Malazan. I don't know what that is one day. The show, I'll pass. Well, it's very good, Ivy. I mean, I recommended it to Clayton and Matty, and they like it so far. I really like it. I really like it. I mean, it scratches my fantasy itch a lot. So there's that. And they're bad now, and lots of diversity in the show. What not? What not in books? You mean was not in the books? Like I said, I haven't read them. I don't know how people are depicted there looking like, but you can let me know. The American government drew Planned Parenthood-based movie companies to let them come in and check for work conduct. Really? Really? Is there a proof for that? An article for that somewhere? First chapter. You couldn't get through Wheel of Time first chapter? What do you mean? You did watch, I think, to what episode did you watch? I mean, by what you described to me, it was like you were to the third episode at least. But if you read the book, you mean, that's another thing. I mean, as long as it's entertaining, I'll drink water to that. But for the fans of the books, I feel them. I did like the Trollocs. Some people said they are bad. I don't know. Way they were okay. There was these creatures that are like half man, half bull. Those are Trollocs, I think. They're pretty damn scary and they're made to look amazing, like 100% real. I don't know how they made them, but absolutely real. The special effects are top notch. Now, how they are depicted, that is another matter. I don't know. How they present. The writers barely discussed disguised fetish. Okay. Oh well, Matty. Ivy, I know, but if you ever want to watch it. Oh, god damn it. Sorry, guys. I really have to go because midnight and 30 minutes is not good time for me. The book, okay. I love the show. Okay, Matty, thank you for clarifying. The Artemis follow books are great. The trailer for the movie was horrible. Refused to watch. Changed everything for diversity. Really? The Artemis Fowl. I didn't see that. But I heard that the movie was horrible. So there's that. Effects, bad acting, really shame because of the direct was pretty amazing. Oh. Beastmen. Beastmen, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, they do look like Beastmen. I don't know if I mean Warhammer Beastmen. You're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. The live action Cowboy Bebop was supposed to be bad. Well, a lot of people say that it is bad, but they never seen the animation, so I can't say I mean the animated series. I've heard that it's not that long, so maybe I can fit it somewhere if it's really good, like people say it's like amazing. I did watch the Death Note, and I was super happy with it and super impressed. So if you think that I'm gonna probably like Cowboy Bebop animation, original animation, let me know. Uh, oh, you did love the Trollocs? I think they look good. Some people didn't like them. Interesting. Well, I cannot say because I haven't read the books. Last Airbender shows are great. Yeah, I also heard that. How many seasons the Last Airbender has? Because also if it's not that long, maybe I can fit that too. Go Melon Bone. I'm not sure what that is, Matty. Okay, guys, so it's gotten super. I mean, in a lot of other topics, super interesting other topics. But I really have to go to sleep. I really have to go to sleep. I hope that I can catch up with more content tomorrow. I don't want to say a big word to jinx myself, but yeah, there's a lot of other things to do that I want to do. I can talk about these topics a lot anyway. And also watching Arcane, trying to finish that. It's interesting. I can say that. It's interesting. Wow, 14.5 thousand pages. Wow. Good? Okay, they are good. I couldn't follow it, but the show looked good. Interesting. Well, okay. I mean, I'm not that much in anime, manga, or anything like that, but if there's a quality show like the freaking Death Note, which is just brilliant, I think, in many, 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 many ways, some philosophical ways as well, just makes you think so much. I love things that make me think. So if you think that I will love some of the other animations if they have some substance to them, just let me know. Think Legend of Korra sequel series 2 seasons, I think. Well, depends on how many episodes. I mean, seasons is one thing, but how many episodes per season? Is it like 10? Is it like 20? You know? And Ages of Death. No Ages of Death tomorrow? No? What? Matty? Really? Really? Let me check. How did you see that? Is it in Warhammer TV? I'm just going to check that and we have the last episode, which is Slaughter. What will they release then? There's a lore video about Mortarion. It's like I cannot see that on YouTube. I mean, by some other creator, probably done better too. The woman in Last Airbender, strong characters, diverse, and non-HW. Yeah, that's better. Are you sure, Matty? Well, if it doesn't come out, it's gonna be ridiculous. Is it because it's the first? It's the 1st of December here already. Last week was the season finale? Then we should get Hammer and Bolter? Or they should rest? I mean, they should not rest, if you ask me. We want the content because we are paying for this thing. I didn't expect for them to have 9 episodes. That's a bummer. Kinda ended in a freaking cliffhanger then. I thought it was 10 episodes. Okay, never mind. I am very late, guys. So, that's gonna be it. Great conversation. I thought, well, thanks, Matty. I thought that we did have here, and all the topics were, in any case, related to what's happening to GW. I just want, for Warhammer to not be touched by all the SJW things because it's ridiculous. It should be whatever it is, whatever it is, that is its right to exist in that manner. It's grim dark, it has some contradictions like a lot of other fantasy things do, but it's interesting, it's deep, it's layered upon layered upon layers. It has layers upon layers. And it deserves to exist the way that it is, and yeah, nobody to mess with it. So there's that. 4 seasons and the last airbender has 4. Okay. We'll see, Matty. We'll see tomorrow. So, with that being said, guys, I super thank you so much for being here with me. I just love to make these conversations and interact with you guys. Just makes up for a great community and just great topic discussions. And once again, huge thank you to Marked Ashamed for his super chat of $5. And yeah, it does matter. Everything matters, guys. And of course, you can become Primarch, a Starty, or a Custody if you become a member of the channel and use all kinds of icons and have a badge in the chat, like these, for instance. So yeah, guys, OnlyFans, all of that, and hope that you have a great Wednesday. Reading the last of things. Okay, thank you, dear Ivy. Thank you. Legends of Korra, I have to have it on my list somewhere. Thank you, Matty, for that too. So with that being said, guys, comment, like if you can, because that's gonna help the algorithm at least, and for YouTube to actually help me out here and not bury me with the freaking, with their freaking algorithm. So yeah, that's gonna help the algorithm. Sleep well if you have my time, and till next time, we get you reviews. Hopefully that is tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.